Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and I have this fun fold card to show you. It's called it's an accordion fold. There's all different types of accordion folds, so this is just one of them, but you kind of see how it folds out there on the left side. It's kind of fun. And so I'm going to show you using this beautiful Painterly Pears paper, and then we'll do a little stamping with it too. So that's what I'm going to show you today, and I hope you like it, but you can see that you can use different pattern papers. I use 3 different patterns. Here you could even, instead of the white, you could even put another pattern in there as well. So I think it's one that you're going to like. So I have my directions here. Feel free to take a screenshot or write them down. I'll say them out loud as we go along as well. So we're going to start with a Mossy Meadow base. Actually, I'm wondering, yeah, we'll do our cutting first, and then I guess I'll show you what supplies I'm using. So my trimmer here, we're going to start with, I just have a piece of Mossy Meadow, and we're going to cut it. It's going to be 11 by 5.5. So this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, so I'm going to leave that alone, and so we're just going to cut it so that it's 5.5 inches wide. That's on the 5.5. This we'll use for something else later on, another project. All right, so there is our 5.5 by 11, and so we need to score it at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and 7. So what I'm going to do is open up my arm here, extender arm, move my things out of the way so it lays flat, and then I'll just score it. So what did I say? 1 3/4. Oop, that's my cutting blade. I don't want that one. 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and 7. All right, that's it. So then what I fold is kind of, so all the score lines are on this side, so I have kind of what will be the back of the card. So I kind of fold it on that score line here first, and use a bone folder. I like to use a scraper here, and then just accordion fold like we used to do, you know, when you made those fans as a kid. Go back and forth, and you get a nice crisp edge. So there we go. There's our card and our fold. So that's kind of the whole trick to the card, so to speak. And now we're just going to cut some papers and decorate it. So I'm using, let's put these back here so you can see them, the Painterly Pears paper that is just gorgeous. So this is not found in a catalog. It's found in what they call the online exclusives. But if you just go to the Stampin' Up! Store and on the search bar and you just write pear, anything related to pear will come up. So you'll see this might be a new pack, so you might have 2 of both. I'll show you that, a cool feature of that paper in a second. This I think is my favorite, although then when I see the other pieces, then it's hard to decide. Oh, that's that one again. And this should be, well, actually the piece that's missing we're going to use. It coordinates. You can use the paper all on its own. You don't need the pear set to go with it, but I just wanted to show it to you. The Perfectly Pears stamp set, or the bundle. So you have 2-step stamping for the pears and the stems. You get some kind of fancy script words, and then you have these dies. What I wanted to show you is, what they do is the dies actually work with the paper, so you can cut that out, and you can cut out the stem. So sometimes if you didn't want to stamp, you can just cut out the pear, and it works with this little pear too. So the whole bunch on the paper, and Actually, it works with the flower as well. You just get it right. There we go. So it's kind of nice that it cuts it out, and then that's the back side, which is hard because that's a nice pattern to use too. All right. But we're going to stamp this time, although I stamped this one and I cut out of the paper this one. It's kind of hard to tell, so I'm going to show you some techniques to make it look just like they did. All right, so we have our base, and our back panel, I was calling it back here, is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and I did do that as a, I already cut it, so it's a pattern. So it's a little bit off our standard cards that we do that are, what are they usually, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. This closed card, let's see what it is 4 by 5 1/2. So it's slightly off just because of all that folding, how it worked. So that's what I did with the back panel, and we're going to cover it up so that you can write a message with a little white. So then you can, and we'll cover that up so you can kind of see the pattern, and you can decorate yours however you wish, but I just wanted to show you what I did. So I have the 2 white panels, which are these guys here. Those are 1 1/2 wide by 5 1/4 tall, and then 2 I wrote DSP, but designer series paper, pattern paper, and you can do them the same or different, are actually the same size as that white, 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. So I did 2 different patterns, but really all these 4 panels are all the same size. So I've already cut those. We're just going to add those, and I've already cut our white. So actually I'm going to spend a little bit more time on the stamping part, so that's where I cut them all out. So that's there. So let's do some stamping. All right, so I have my white, I have my pear. I'm going to use this so you can, it will help with the photopolymer stamps. I like to use a foam pad, or the glass mat actually kind of substitutes for the foam pad, but since it's white on white, you can see better. All right, so we're going to use that one. And where's the stem? Did I get that put back in here? It did. Whew. Okay. So you know what? That's the same size block. I'm just switching my blocks so that it fits better. There we go. And we'll get to that one after. Actually. Okay. Sorry. All right, so we're going to use, actually, yeah, we'll do the pear first. We're going to use 3 colors for our pear. So these are, I had it written down, I think it's downstairs. It's a type of pear that starts with a C. I'm not a pear eater, so I don't know them all. But these types of pears that have like the red in them, they're like the Christmas pears. And I just forget the name of them. So we're going to try to mimic that. So that's why I'm going to use these 3 colors. So did I say strawberry slush, darling duckling, and old olive? Too bad we don't have the old color of pear pizzazz. That would work. All right. So we'll actually just do our stem real quick, because this is nothing fancy. That's just a straight stamping. And I'm just going to wash that real quick because I need that block for the other pear. I think I'm missing the, oh, okay. Where did I put it? I'll find it. Oh, I already put it on here. Silly. Okay, sorry. I don't usually do these videos early in the morning, and I have to think. Usually my brain's working. So we're going to stamp this pear in two different in colors. I wish there was one more stamp. So we have an outline that actually we're not even using for this particular card. So really just using this stamp. And I wish there was another filler. And it has like what's called the distinctive texture. So it does give texture when we stamp, but I wished I had another one as another layer, but we don't have that. So instead, we're going to do what's called kissing. We're going to stamp it in the lighter color first. So that's the Daffodil Delight. And then I'm going to, I'm not going to do a full kiss. Maybe I'll roll it. I'm going to kind of roll. Did we sponge this one? Yeah, we rolled this one. So I'm just kind of rolling a little bit in the, I don't know if you can see. So some of it has the green, some of it has the yellow. And then we're doing like three purposes. I'm taking a sponge dauber in that strawberry slush, and I'm adding a little bit of the pink. So then when we go to stamp it, you kind of get that three-tone. It will dry a little bit better. Right now it looks kind of funny. It will dry better. Now I'm remembering, as I'm looking at my sample, that's not how I did it, but that's one way of getting three colors on. But now actually let me show you another way. We're not using the green at all. The green was for the stem. All right, so let's do it this way. Now we're just going to do two colors. So we're going to do the Darling Duckling. We're going to do the same strawberry slush, and you can get some in the yellow if you want, mush it around depending on how much you want. There we go. And it's all kind of, I'm trying to think of what that word is, molted or mottled, or, but it will dry better. So actually that's two ways of doing it, three colors and two colors. Oh, and shoot, hopefully there's enough room. That's the stamp I keep losing. It's right in front of me. I want to do this too. For the inside, I think I have another piece of paper. Oops. I just dropped a glass jar. So we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to do the Darling Duckling, and then I'm going to take the sponge dauber, kind of put the pink, like that, and then we need the, that's what I was looking for. There it is. So this one uses the outline. So actually, we did this card for club. It was about a month ago, and you can tell because I'm remembering now what we're doing. Good thing I had my directions written down. So let's stamp that one first. And then let's do that filler again. So I actually find it a little easier to do the outline first and then do the filler, because you can kind of see where it goes versus doing that. And you can kind of see, sometimes I don't always get it right in the lines. All right, so I'm just going to move this closer to my face. Move it back. There we go. That's what we wanted. And then, I don't know why, but there's no leaf filler stamp. So we're just going to take our colored pencils and just do a quick color of the stem. And I'm not even using a blending brush, the blender pen to rub them in. The other thing you could do is take the blender pen and kind of pull in the outline of the ink in, but the pencils work fine. Okay, so now that's all ours. What we want there. And now we're going to cut them out, and then we will stick all onto the card. All right. Make move the paper so it doesn't move. I'm just going to trim this because the paper is too wide for my little machine, but we'll go in that way. All right, and so our dies are all right here. These line up pretty easy. So there, we'll probably put that one on the inside, but you can put it on the outside. I'll show you an example. And then this one, I'll just stick with the, I could use both actually, but I'll stick with the, see if I can do these all at once. So if I didn't want to stamp again, I would, you can kind of see I've done it. I would just cut a piece out of the paper. And if you wanted to use those two, I would cut a little more careful. And then you can just line up your dies. Some of the stems are too close to do at once. That one might just make it, and then you just cut those out. But we're going to use these ones. Okay, now we can put it all together. Oh, actually, that's okay. I forgot two things I wanted to stamp. So those white panels, you could leave them plain white, but we're going to just kind of give them a little something. So there's those three little flowers, these ones, and then these three actually are go in and do the middle of the flowers. So we're going to do that in petal pink. So I've been doing it just so I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm putting the full flower, like that open flower, on the top corner, and then I'm rotating it down here. And then for the inside, I'm doing the Daffodil Delight again. No, I'm not. The Darling Duckling again. And so you have like these three little flower centers, and they do line up. You just have to kind of figure out the direction. Like that. And then because I knew I rotated this 180 degrees, I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees, and then it should line up. So you don't have to figure it out again. Just like that. That's all our, oh, nope, it's not all our stamping. We have to get words on there. All right, so one more color. We're going to use Secret C for that, but let's put this together first. All right, so I'm going to open it up flat. So my white panels are going to go right there. So I'll put in those first. And you could either use these little panels to write your message, or you can just leave them plain, especially if you weren't putting the white kind of box on this piece. You could definitely write a message there. colors are just so rich to me. It's like regal, like they're just beautiful. All right. So on that blue paper, there are pears, so I was trying to see which way. I didn't want it to be upside down. Sometimes it doesn't matter. And then this, I was saying it's hard to cut the pears because you want to cut all the pears out, but I really like this pattern. Ooh, that one's way too long. Sometimes then I get my cutter. If you can get the glue off right away, then it doesn't get sticky. Oh, that's better. All right, isn't that pretty, just all by itself? So then I'm going to show you how I put these two. So I didn't bring the dies up. These were cut from the Nested Essential dies, and so there's 3 different shapes, and they have, I think, 4 of the different size nesting. So this is one of the shapes. So like these, I'm going to put these 2 together, and then this white is the same size as that green. So I'm actually going to put my white on first, and I'm going to do my best to eyeball it, just center it. Now if you're going to do any stamping on it, you can stamp first or stamp second. I'm going to stamp it second. And then when we go to close this up, I'm going to put this right on top so that I know it covers it. Otherwise, if I don't want you to see it. So I'm going to put glue just on this side. And then I'm going to cover it up. So you have that little secret in the back, like that. Okay, so you can use any shape, circle, square, whatever, but that's how I do it. I put the back one on first, and then I close it, and then I can cover it up. And then that will go on top, but I'm going to stamp first. So you can stamp, this is kind of a small piece. I think most of them fit. I don't know if Congratulations fits. Just barely. But actually I'm going to use different words because I figured this would make a great Thanksgiving card. So I'm using my Choose Happy, and I have happy here and I have Thanksgiving here. And that is stamp that's kind of fun because you can kind of use it for lots of different things. And so I'm going to use the secret C, and then I'm not going to put my pear on yet, but I'm just going to, let me get my pad out again. Just going to kind of gauge where I want it to go. Probably around there. And then I want my just needed a block. My happy kind of gives me an idea of where to stamp it. So there's happy, and then let that dry a second, and then I'm going to put Thanksgiving on the inside. Happy Thanksgiving. Or you can do happy birthday, but it's kind of nice to have words on the front. Oops. It kind of fills up that space, or you could just put the pear in the middle. And then this one I did thank you, and then I think it's just blank on the inside. And so we had done that extra pear. You could put it on this side, and a lot of times I do tend to put things on the right, but when it closes up you can kind of see it, and so if that's okay with you, then that's great. But if you put it on this side, you don't see it. So it's going to go on that side. You don't have to put anything at all, but just gives one extra little specialness like that. All right. And then you can choose to either glue, I'm going to glue it straight down and pop up my pear, or however you want to put it on there. Do it that way so I can flatten it. And then some of these actually I glued straight down, and some of them I popped up. The stem I put out just a little bit of glue, really just a tiny bit of glue right there. And then, gotta give that a second to stick. If you're going to use dimensionals, what I've been doing is I'm putting the dimensionals actually right here on the card itself. And then I'll close that up. And then I kind of add them that way. So there you go. It's a fun Thanksgiving card. It's just full of rich colors. And so obviously it doesn't have to be Thanksgiving. You can turn it however you'd like, but that is how I made this, the accordion card, or one of the accordion cards, because like I said, there's many different versions. But I'll show you, oh, those all happen to have the same color combination. I wanted to show you, oh, these all have the same color combination. You can vary up the colors. I guess this one, I did all the same. I've done some other cards that have different variations, and I'll show you in videos. At least do that later on. So I hope you liked it. If you are not receiving my emails, they go out every Tuesday, and so please sign up. Just go over to my blog, mailsomethingpretty.com, and there's a box right there, and you can just sign up, and you'll be sent a tutorial right away, and then you'll get on my mailing list, and you'll get a whole bunch of emails at the beginning, and then it'll be pretty much just Tuesdays. So let me know what you think. I hope you liked it. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.